Shine, 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 Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight with your award-winning host, Dale Davidson. Dale interviews fascinating guests from top-ranked celebrities to people just like you who have an important story to tell. For more than 15 years, Dale has broadcast every week from the fabulous Las Vegas Strip. He finds the people who really make Las Vegas a one-of-a-kind city and lets the world know just what's happening in this remarkable town. You'll discover why 50 million people visit the entertainment capital of the world every year. Stay tuned for another exciting episode of Las Vegas Tonight.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. Thank you for tuning in. You're going to be doubly glad you did. We've got two very talented men, Ben Litvinoff and Raphael Erardi, and they're both musicians. They're both singers. They're both extremely talented, and we're going to have them on one at a time and then together. So you picked the right time to tune in. This is Ben Litvinoff. Ben.
Hello, sir.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
As always, wardrobe is perfect.
Oh, well, whatever works.
You have more clothes than anybody I've ever met.
I know, it's a cry for help.
And cars, I think, too. More cars than anyone.
Yeah, I've scaled down quite a bit over the years. So.
Did you get rid of the Rolls Royce?
Yeah, I sold it after having it 42 years.
Wow.
And so, but it was time. Wow. It was getting tired, and so am I. So
yeah, a lot of that going around.
And retirement is around the corner, so I need to start liquidating a few toys. And
yeah.
So I still got 4 vehicles, and that's plenty still.
That's plenty.
So I got a few more things my wife can make me get rid of.
There you go. Let's talk about the good old days in Vegas. You've been here a long time.
Yeah.
Did you grow up here?
Well, I came here in 1967 as an 11-year-old.
Wow.
And so it's been most of my life. So graduated high school here and met my wife at a little Baptist church, and we got married the year I graduated high school.
Wow.
And in 74, that was our first date, my senior prom.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's been almost 48 years, and so we've been very blessed. We've survived through all the gauntlet of life.
Oh, yeah.
And with 4
Rebecca's
beautiful kids. And
a great lady.
Got a couple of 3 grandkids, and so we got a full life. And
you're a piker. I've got 10 grandkids.
Oh, you got me beat.
And I tell people I'm not Catholic or a Mormon, so figure out what that's about.
Oh my goodness!
But I have 4 sons, and they're producing.
Yeah, and they're gorgeous grandkids of yours.
Thank you.
And so
thank you.
It's wonderful.
Tell me about Vegas in 1967. It must have been a different
I remember
city.
A lot of desert around everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it was and going downtown, and a lot of Western, everything seemed more of a Western theme back then still. And but going to some of the lounges and I went to some of the grand openings, like when the MGM Grand first opened back in 73, I think it was.
Is that right? Wow.
That was amazing. That was a football stadium casino there, and that was and then we were checking out the Mirage when it opened up. And,
that was an amazing thing.
And that volcano, I had a client, she was from Hawaii, she came to visit, and she said, "Why would they build a hotel next to a volcano?" I said, I don't think you understand. Good. Well, she lived where there are volcanoes in Hawaii. And
that's hilarious.
So a lot of great stories, and
that's funny.
I've had and I'm a hairstylist by day. That's my day job. I've been doing that for about 40 plus years.
Yeah.
And had my own salon for 30 years, and then I've downsized, and now I just rent out a booth, and life's a little simpler and not as complicated.
That's nice.
And I'm still doing music and singing, and I've been a worship leader at a couple of churches, and now my home church is Trinity Life Center.
Sure.
Pastor Randy, but he knows I'm always on loan somewhere, and I'm singing at different places, and I sing at Raphael's church occasionally.
Oh, that's nice.
We do some duets and duos together, and and I'm filling in this week for one of my pastor friends and customers, leading his worship for his Wednesday and Sundays this coming week. So I stay pretty busy. I always say you can't hit a moving target. So
there you go.
Keep moving.
That's nice. And you have a wonderful voice.
Oh, well, thank you.
Really
I appreciate that.
And you play the piano. What other instruments?
Yeah, I play the piano, and I play the organ, a little bit of guitar, and a jukebox if I got a roll of quarters.
There you go. That's good. Yeah, I enjoy your piano playing.
Oh,
too.
well, thank you. That's it's a joy. It's a lot of fun, and it helps a lot when I got to transpose a song down lower. I can get on the piano. Okay, we've done it. Bring it down 3 steps or whatever, and so that all helps. But and I started playing by ear before that, and only problem with playing by ear, though, you tend to be a little lazy on really reading your notes. So I faked my second hand, the bass clef, and I can read the other pretty fast. But
you can,
but it's fun.
It sounds good to me.
Oh well, it's like it's all smoke and mirrors.
Sort of like our show.
Oh yeah, like there we go. Right. So I love it.
And our backdrop.
Yeah, but
let's talk about when you decided or you first knew you were going to be a musician all your life.
I remember singing like either 5 or 6 years old for a Christmas program.
Okay.
And I think I sang Silent Night. And then with the applause, it's like, oh, this is kind of nice.
You like hearing this.
But anyway, nice, so I started singing since I was a little kid and singing in church mostly, and then special birthday parties or whatever. And with the boys club, I remember I was playing the guitar and singing for some of their charity events, and back when I was 12 or so, and to the point now I've done a lot of that, and then I've always wanted to get together and do some secular stuff, and that's where when talking with Raphael, and let's get together and put a thing together, and duos. And it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
where did you get that big voice? You have a huge voice.
Well,
were you born with that, or?
Well, pretty much. My mom was an opera singer, also with the Burbank Civic Light Opera when she was back in the '60s. So music runs in the family.
Sure.
And my grandmother had a beautiful voice, and there was some opera singer in our family back in the 1800s that was a real big. I can't remember his name at the moment, but so we got a few yodelers in the family. So and so
that's neat.
And my father's side of the family is Kentucky, Oklahoma, a little bit. So we got a few singers there, and country singers more so. And I never did get into country very much, but
I've heard you sing every type, though, even Christian songs that are sound like show tunes, which I've never heard anybody else but you do.
Oh,
and it really works.
Well, I think
it really
so.
Works,
well, you can. There's so many different varieties of gospel music too, which is just wonderful. And so, but I've always enjoyed that. My wife just shakes her head or rolls her eyes when I'm doing some kind of ta-da thing. It's like, okay.
She's seen it.
Yeah, well, she balances me out, or tries to.
That's why we all have wives, keeping us humble.
That way we can live longer.
That's right. I think that's right. Now, tell me about performing in casinos as opposed to performing in churches. One would think that's a world of difference.
Because I did a big Christmas production I put on back in the early 2000s, and we took our Christmas show to like the Sunset Station. We did a 5-night presentation there in the showroom there in the middle of the casino, and people sitting at the bar drinking and watching and hearing the gospel. Because what I would do is the first part of the show was a secular, and we put on different types of Hawaiian Christmas, Ukrainian Christmas. We did Native American Indian Christmas. We did a whole bunch of different types of Christmas at the beginning, and then we go into the traditional, what the whole story of Christ was about.
Right.
It was called Jesus, the King of Hearts, Christmas in Las Vegas.
I remember this.
Yeah, it was on their billboard at Sunset Station, and Jesus was just so prominent. I think it was a Christian who typed it all in to put it on the billboard then.
Yeah.
And so we did that.
They're lurking everywhere.
So that was a wonderful. We had like 120 people in the cast and crew, all volunteer.
Wow.
And so I said I had a nonprofit organization, and it was truly nonprofit.
Yeah, mine is too.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. It's like I have a nonprofit. I didn't intend for it to be that way.
So that's why I have hair. That's my day job, and all the rest, the music is something I love to do. And, and I'm having even more fun with Raphael and I doing and singing for charitable events and special groups and.
So you and Raphael are playing the hotels, though, right?
We've done some a little bit, and we're looking to get in some corporate venues also. And of course, Raphael will be able to tell you all the corporate things and his life story. Yeah, he talks a lot more than I do. so you better make the segment a little longer for him.
Okay, it's a deal.
We'll be quiet over there.
It's a deal. So let's talk about the future a little bit. You mentioned retirement. Are you actually thinking about retiring, or do you think you'll be singing forever?
I plan on singing until my voice gives out, or I can't, for whatever the Lord. It's in God's hands, and so whatever the Lord allows, and whatever opportunities are still there. So I really don't think retirement is something I would enjoy. When we had the pandemic hit, we shut down the salon for 2 months, and being at home for 2 months is just like. It wasn't something I really enjoyed.
No, me neither.
I wanted to be out and about, and that's kind of gives me energy when you meet other people and you're out doing things, and so I don't think I'll be retiring, but I'll just maybe some people might want me to retire, but
you're too modest.
Yes, that's right.
You're too modest.
Yeah, if people don't realize who I think I am, so.
Have you thought?
My wife knows.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. Have you thought about participating in evangelism, or have you done any evangelism?
I've done some of that. Well, I was part of the Passion Play of Las Vegas for many years.
Tell us about the
I was involved in that, and that was a volunteer thing too. Yeah. We did it at the Riviera Hotel, and I played. Barabbas. I played the heavy, because years ago I used to play Jesus at Trinity and hang on the cross, and then I had a lot of people make jokes because I'd be hung on the cross. I'm in a loincloth or something, and I know one church lady says, I didn't recognize you with your clothes on. So I thought, okay. So
little Baptist comedy.
Yeah, that's right. So there was a lot of humor about that.
That's great.
But that was about 50 pounds ago, though.
Me too.
Looked like I ate the last buffet instead of the supper.
That's good. So tell us a little bit more about that Passion Play. It was here for many years,
and then ended up going over to Cornerstone after the Riviera shut down.
Yeah.
And but that was wonderful. Did the whole story of Christ, and then, like I said, I played the part of Barabbas. But it was a beautiful production.
Yeah.
And a lot of
people came to Christ.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people.
On the spot.
Exactly.
I mean,
people
were
getting
tears
saved every night.
Yeah, it was a remarkable musical.
It was a beautiful program. And it's still going on, but I don't know as far as being here right now.
It isn't right now.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I talked to Stan,
Okay, right. And they still do it in Colorado.
In Denver.
In South Africa, they're still putting it on.
South Africa.
And so.
And he's hoping that we'll pick it up again here.
Right, so that would be.
As you said, I'm sure he'd be happy to recruit you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work, but it was a real blessing, and we just really enjoyed that. And so, like I said, I've had my toes in the water in a lot of different places, in the hotels and things, and but the gospel music is, and that's our home thing. Raphael, I've sung for a couple of churches. Went to California one time and sang. And so, but we're just marching on. Whatever the Lord opens the doors, we're available.
That's wonderful. You mentioned the hotels cooperating with Christian productions. I don't see that so much anymore.
No.
Where do you think Christ fits into the Strip today? Is it a little more secular, a little tougher than it used to be?
I think so, because they used to have church services at a lot of the hotels years ago.
I remember that. I think maybe they're avoiding it because people...
well, our world is getting more secular all the time, and the church is kind of, the public is just getting more antichrist, I think.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah,
it's very sad. But there's still light out there.
And sure.
And Vegas, there's a lot of wonderful Christian people, still bright spots out there on the Strip, and so we just see where the Lord.
And what you and Raphael are doing, and others who are great performers like you guys and happen to be Christian, I think you're given the opportunity to witness. either on stage or after a show or whatever.
Sure.
And as you say, you don't want to hide your light.
No, that's true.
And yours is bright, my friend.
Well, it's a couple of times it needs to be polished.
So, what a modest, wonderful guy. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to have
appreciate it.
Both of you on here in a segment.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna grill Raphael for a little bit.
Good. It's his turn.
There you go. We'll be back right after this. Hi, I'm Dale Davidson, host of Las Vegas Tonight. You know, radio has an enduring place in the heart of America. Sometimes it's music that can enliven your spirit or keep you company when you need some. More often for me, it's just been the right spoken word or two that can quiet my mind and soul. Radio brings me a reassuring word in the quiet of night or a welcoming voice early in the morning as I shake off the night's sleep and find my way into God's purpose for my day. And always, I find the best radio station is the one that brings me the best news, the gospel of Jesus Christ. My favorite radio station is KKVV in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's still right where it's been for years, at 1060 on the AM dial, hovering over Sin City like a gospel airship, broadcasting the good news of the abounding love that Jesus Christ has for every single one of us. No matter who you are or where you live, you can receive God's Word via the KKVV Gospel Airship. Just go to kkvv.com and click on Listen Live. KKVV is using all the tools that God's provided them, like podcasting and video streaming and video on demand, to produce programs that lift up our fellow believers and save the lost. If you feel a calling to speak to others about Jesus Christ on your very own show, pick up the phone and call the station. They'll be happy to tell you how. Call KKVV today at 702-731-5588 or drop them an email at kkvvradio@hotmail.com. Please join me in becoming part of the KKVV family. You'll be glad you did. Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. Thanks for sticking around. You'll be very glad you did. Raphael Erardi is with us, a terrific musician, and now the business partner, singing partner, musical partner of Ben Litvinoff, our guest in the first segment. Thanks for coming on, Raphael.
It's my pleasure.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Let's talk about Vegas and Raphael. You've been here a while, but
Yes.
not as long as Ben, I guess.
No, I came here in 1979, believe it or not, to visit a friend who I hired for a show that I helped produce in New York City. And he was playing trumpet with Wayne Newton's orchestra.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, I've been traveling for years already, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a year off.
Yeah.
So I bought this van. It was all tricked out, and I started driving across the country. And I started visiting some friends that I had done shows with.
Oh, that's nice.
One in Madison, Wisconsin, that was something. Madison, Wisconsin's amazing.
It's a nice town, actually.
It's a crazy town. It's a college town.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But I had a wonderful time there, then came to Las Vegas. So I met with, his name was Tony Krapis, a wonderful, wonderful trumpet player. And went to see Wayne's show with him playing in it and all that kind of stuff. Not realizing that a couple of years later, I would be Wayne's drummer and singer.
I remember when that was the case. Yeah.
So then I started meeting people. Then I met Sandy Hackett.
Oh, sure.
Over there at the
Buddy's son.
Right. Over there at the Sahara showcase that he used to host on Monday nights, where people who just came into town, who had an act or played an instrument or did something, you could
get on,
do your thing, and people could see you,
Yeah.
And so we just hit it off for some reason.
You and Sandy.
And then of course I became his roommate till I could find a place, because I thought, well, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay
I
here.
like Vegas.
You know, well, yeah, and I put this show together with a wonderful singer, Jeanine Marie. I don't know if you remember her.
No, I don't.
And so we did the showcase.
Oh, okay.
Put this little group together, and she sang. And then she got an opening act with Rich Little.
Wow.
And
just from that.
Just from that. And
wow.
I thought, boy, this is.
So do the open mics, guys.
Yeah, this is great. So I get a call, and Rich's people wanted to put this radio commercial together. So we need a 15-second thing, and then we need like a 30-second thing. And so we went in the studio and we did a couple of things and put it together for them on a cassette tape.
We remember those.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
It might have been metal, though. It might have been metal tape.
Yeah, it could have been, yeah.
No Vel metal tape.
So we finished this in the studio, and we were driving back to the rehearsal hall that we were using to rehearse. I was in a school zone up there in North Las Vegas.
Right.
And so I went and I stopped at the stop sign, and, you know, people with flags and all of that, you know, it's a school thing, intersection.
Right, yeah.
This girl comes by as I went. She come by, hit me broadside at 60 miles an hour.
Oh, gosh.
Broke my neck, crushed the whole left side of my body. And that was a tough one.
I'll bet.
But I passed away in the ambulance for 8 minutes. I was gone.
Lord.
And, well, that's what happened.
You came to Christ because of this.
Well, I had already had miraculous things happen to me, even as a child, with rheumatic fever and all of this.
I remember that.
You know, because they were...
And you told me that, yeah.
They said, well, he's not going to make it, kind of thing, you know. I mean, I still wear the scars in my heart valves. There isn't a doctor that listens to my heart that doesn't say, like, that's the worst heart murmur I've ever heard in my life. I said, well, I've had it since I was a kid, you know. And there was, at that point, a calling.
Really?
And it was gentle and simple and all of that. And I could feel it. But I knew at that point that he was going to heal me and I was going to get back to what I was doing. And
you just felt it.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Well, I heard it.
Yeah. God spoke to you.
He spoke to me very clearly. And people always say, like, let's say it was 86, I did the 700 Club. Somebody had seen me do a concert and gave my testimony, and they said, boy, you got to do this on the show. And I said, fine, you know.
Yeah.
And so everybody always asks the same thing. You heard an audible voice?
They all want to know that.
I go, well, yeah, it's not that tough for him to do. I can tell you. You know?
But very few people have heard that voice.
Oh, yeah. But it's amazing because there are times when it's audibly already in your head, like you already heard it.
Yes, right.
But it's in your mind in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
This whole thing, you know.
Yes. What did the Lord say?
But you hear it.
Yeah, what did he say to you?
He said that if I didn't harbor any anger that this happened to me, or that I blamed the other person, or, you know, this kind of animosity and this welled up kind of anger thing, if I just trusted him, that he would heal me and I would get back to doing what I was doing in a very short period of time.
Wow.
But I would have to go through it.
Yes.
I mean, I still wear the scars where they screwed the halo brace into my skull.
Yeah, I had that too.
And all of that
That's
type
no
of thing.
fun. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the broken bones and the stitches and all that stuff, everything healed up miraculously fast.
Wow.
And I literally was back in the gym working out and doing all that kind of thing. As soon as they took the halo brace off, they put this big thing on me. It's called a Philadelphia collar, I guess they call it. This big thing, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I wore that to the gym. Everybody thought I was nuts, you know.
Yeah, you're going to hurt yourself.
You're going to hurt yourself. So I'm going, no, I need to do this. I need to get back. I was, you know.
Yeah.
And then I went back to my chiropractor once they took that away, and I had the small little spongy collar, you know.
Yeah, I've had
I started going back to my chiropractor, and they said, "You're nuts. Does he touch your neck?" I go, "Yes, he does." He took X-rays. He did everything, and he was.
Yeah, and you know where the bone spurs are or aren't.
Exactly, and all that kind of stuff. But I truly believe that The Lord was just leading me through this thing. And like I said, shortly after I started playing again, I got the opportunity to play for Wayne Newton.
Well, you physically have to be in really good shape to be a drummer, I would think. And were you ever worried I may never play the drums again because of this accident? No.
No.
Because God spoke to you.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I'll tell you what, the experience itself, I didn't, go to heaven and see amazing things or anything like that. I did hear the voice of the Lord, but the thing is that in that split second that I guess expired, where I was in the ambulance, and then Janine was with me in the car. Her injuries were horrendous too. Even though she went 1 week later and opened for Rich Little in Lake Tahoe. Amazing.
Wow.
My parents
show must go on.
My parents flew out just to be with her in Lake Tahoe, to be there with her. There was no driver's side of the car left. They came in so fast. And there was no seatbelt law back then, so I didn't have a seatbelt on.
Right.
Well, the impact was so great, it threw me up into the roof of the car. So the car kept coming in.
Oh,
it bent the stick shift, broke it, and the stick shift went right through her leg.
Oh.
In the seat next to me.
Oh.
That's how the impact, you know.
That sounds painful.
Oh, and then I ended up on top of everything in the middle.
Yeah.
Anyway, but hey, God was good.
And she ended up being okay?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, okay. She had a big hole in her leg, which they did what they could.
Right.
They literally brought her to the back of the stage. My parents were amazing telling me this story. They wheeled her to the back of the stage. She stood up, and the orchestra started playing, all that kind of stuff. And they said, Janine Marie, and she went out. No, she went out there, and she did the show like nothing ever happened.
Wow.
But then at the end of the show, she hobbled back over the set. It's just the way God does things. I mean, it's amazing.
The show must go on. That's the ultimate story of the show must go on.
And then, but the thing is even before I got with Wayne, I met this guy, and just when it turned 1980, after I kind of healed up from the accident, I met this guy, Danny Gans.
Right.
And we hit it off, boy. We just,
A terrific impressionist.
Singer, amazing talent. Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah.
The most talented person, not only that I've ever met, who's ever lived on the planet.
Yeah, he was incredible.
And we just became the best of friends, and we kept promising each other that no matter what we're going to do a show together.
Yeah.
And so even when I was with Wayne, when I had a day off or something, I would shoot down to L.A. and we'd sit and we'd talk and we'd plan,
work on what the show looks like.
What the show was going to be like. And he was doing some corporate shows at the time. And he was on that sitcom at the time, that Open House.
Okay, yeah.
And doing all these different things and everything. And then finally, in, what was it, 86, I started doing some corporate shows with him. But we would use this big band, all this kind of stuff. And I told him, I said, we could use a much smaller group of people, like literally 3 people on stage behind you, and it would sound like an orchestra.
Right.
So we got together, we put the technology together, the musicians together, and that's what we did. And we never changed it. The only thing we changed is we added people, but we still kept the basic part of the show and the tracks that we created, because nobody was doing that.
When you say added people, different people for him to impersonate?
No.
Different people in the show.
Oh, yeah, we added a horn section, then a
Okay.
percussionist and that kind of thing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But the thing is that there were a lot of fans of the show, and I remember David Foster used to come in all the time.
Oh, yeah, sure.
With whoever he was married with at the time. And
she was pretty.
Oh, yeah, whoever
Doesn't matter.
it was.
She was pretty.
Whoever it was. and I'll never forget talking to him backstage in Danny's dressing room. He goes, man, I've seen your show 3 times. I didn't realize you didn't have a bass player. I go, no. the bass is on the sequence. And he goes, how do you guys do this every night, not have a train wreck? I said, well, we pretty much figured it out in the beginning, and we never changed it.
Right.
Pretty much.
I saw the show multiple times. It was terrific every time. And it was my go-to show when friends came in from out of town.
Oh, yeah.
I said, you got to see this guy. You're not going to believe him.
Yeah.
You know, but his skill at mimicry, but also his musicianship was just fantastic.
Everything he did.
Yeah.
He was a perfectionist, obviously, you could tell.
Yeah.
But he would, if it helped the character, he would get everything down that they did. Not just the voice, but the facial expressions, the way they moved or danced or did something. It was always amazing. But I was telling somebody the other day, I said, you know what? It wasn't just his talent that was his real gift.
Yeah.
It was his heart.
A good Christian man.
Good Christian man. We got baptized together 3 weeks after we met.
Wow.
At a Bible study in a pool after the Bible study, and it was always our tying bind, not just as friends. And it was just short of 30 years that we were friends before he passed.
Yeah, that really tore you up. I remember when it happened.
It's
and
still,
you and I talked at the time.
Yeah,
it really when you have a heart link, if you will, with a best friend like that.
Yes,
it's really very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think I ever really got over it.
Yeah.
I just pretty much know where he is, and that's the satisfying factor in all of it.
Yeah. And how long was he on the strip?
We were here we came from Broadway. We were at the Neil Simon Theater on Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
All the Vegas people came out.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, we'll give you $400 million if you come to, it was like, but for Danny, he already made his money.
Yeah.
He was very wealthy.
All those corporate gigs.
All the corporate stuff. Here's a guy making $100,000 a show.
Wow.
And unless you saw Open House or a couple of the campy movies he made, you wouldn't know who he was. But in corporate, he was Sinatra. He was the Beatles. I mean, it was amazing.
He was huge.
And
and he was in that baseball movie.
Yeah, Bull Durham.
Bull Durham.
That was
I remember
wonderful.
that. Yeah.
Kevin used to come and see the show
Kevin
all the time.
Costner did? Oh.
But we were here 13 years altogether.
Wow.
And every year, and no one else has ever done this, every year he won Entertainer of the Year.
Yeah.
No one's ever done that.
Yeah. That's astonishing. 13 years.
Amazing. Yeah.
And you'd look up at that billboard and new people in town didn't know who he was.
No.
Which is the way he wanted it.
That's the way he wanted it.
He turned down TV gig after TV gig, didn't he?
He wouldn't do a talk show because he wanted people to, he didn't want to give the show away on the talk show.
Yeah.
Oh, do the impression, do that little bit, do this. And he goes, no, I want people to come to Vegas to come see me.
Yeah.
And then when he kept winning the Entertainer of the Year, believe me, they were coming.
Yeah.
We were sold out 3 weeks in advance for at least 10 years.
Wow.
And one night, Clint Eastwood came.
Oh, is that right?
And they couldn't even get him into the theater because they already let like 5 to 10 more people than should even be in the room.
Yes,
because they were celebrities or something like that. And they put chairs, in little places, And they said, we can't put another body in here,
Turn Clint Eastwood away.
So the next day, Clint calls his the office, and he says, can I get a ticket to see Danny tonight? I mean, come on, So Danny found out about it. He goes, hey, look.
Whatever, put him in the front.
I don't care. I'll keep him on stage if I have to, So.
Oh, that's great. He was very popular with everybody and just a wonderful guy.
Oh, man.
We're going to need to take another brief break, Raphael, and we're going to come back and see how the two of them work together. We'll be back right after this.
He's a many splendid thing. It's the April rose, not only grows in the early say yes to me? Tell me quando, quando, quando you mean happiness to me. Oh my darling, tell me when. Say you and your Spanish eyes will wait for me. Say you and your Spanish eyes will wait for me. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance you have a way with me, stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. What's wrong with any man here that can't be cured by putting him there? A girly woman in female femininity.
And what a treat it is to have both of these gentlemen on at the same time. We'll see what happens. It's hard to tell. Ben Litvinoff and Raphael Erardi are here, and they're partners in real life, doing music together, business partners. Tell us how that all came about. How'd you guys? You obviously knew each other as musicians. Why did you decide to work together?
Well, years ago, I started doing a monthly prayer event, the Las Vegas Day of Prayer, Praise, and Patriotism, at the hotels.
And I would come.
And I would have different people from different ministries every month. And I think that's when Raphael came, and that's how we got involved and got to know each other and become friends. And and that's the way that all started.
Those were fun.
Yeah,
right.
Those were fun. And a lot of work.
Every month putting it all together, and then I would time everybody. They only got so many minutes, and that. Okay,
right. It's hard to do with performers.
I know.
Oh my God.
And I used to have somebody got me one of those like a hook.
And so, like a shepherd's crook.
Exactly. And we used it a couple of times. Okay, your times. And one time at one of the places, I started playing the piano like they do at the Academy Awards when it's time to get off the stage.
Oh yeah.
We do that.
This
with
is
people.
a hint.
Yeah.
Which that didn't mix with the song we were doing. You know
That's
what I mean?
true. But we had more fun with those, and a lot of people, a lot of variety of different types of ministries.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of performers are Christians. That's really, why I started this show, and it's just been a constant surprise to me. You'll talk to people and you have really no idea, and then they'll start talking to you about the Lord. I know, out of nowhere.
A lot.
Right.
You'd be surprised. Yeah.
It's a tough racket you guys are in, and I think you need the Lord and you need Him to stand up for you and be behind you and help you with things, because if nothing else, you have tough decisions to make. Yeah. You guys are going to now figure out where your careers go together. I'm sure you talk about that, but can you let us in on the secrets? What do you think you're going to do? You're going to go on the road? You're going to get one of those big Greyhound buses?
Well, that's...
I got tired just listening to that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
So, take it away, Ralph.
Well, what we're gearing towards is we're going to continue to do private shows, for different functions and things like that. Obviously, we're both worship leaders in our churches, and we do that every week and all of that. Corporate events, we're gearing towards that, and as of late, we actually sat in with some friends in some of the lounge shows here in town as guests. We come in, we do a segment of our show, and that's worked out really nice. Well, yeah, because then people they realized that they're still alive. You know?
That's right.
You know?
I thought they died.
I remember them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we hope to do, to be able to get enough recognition again, because the COVID pretty much killed the whole corporate market and all the things that we were doing at the time.
Yeah.
We want to get back to where we can pretty much pick and choose what we want to do.
Right.
You know, say within a month.
Right.
Hey, we've got 3 shows. Well, in the corporate market, that's plenty.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And then we can do something like sit in with a friend.
Right.
And
But corporate gigs pay pretty well, don't they?
Yeah. They do. So that's pretty much the best kept secret in entertainment is the corporate market, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's why Danny liked it so much in the early years before we came here. You know?
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what we want to do.
Yeah.
And it's a great audience because you know, a lot of those people come in from out of town, you know, for this corporate event and all this kind of thing.
They're in a good mood.
They're in a good mood.
You know,
they might have just got a raise. You never know.
Won the sales contest.
Exactly.
Who knows?
Or they didn't realize they were getting all that fun stuff in the bag on the way in. You know, that kind of thing. So. And within our show, we do everything. We do comedy. I do some impressions, you know, and stuff. You know, not like Danny, but I mean, we do these things. And one of the highlights in the show is because we tell people, we just say, you know, we're 2 guys up here. We're a duo.
Mm-hmm. That means 2.
Yeah, it means 2.
I think.
Yeah, I think. And
I got education.
And so we do this segment where it's our tribute to our favorite duos of all time, and
really?
we open up with Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis.
Oh, perfect.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That's amore.
Okay,
all right.
Okay, that's enough.
I just blew the sound guy's ear out.
I love it. I love it.
But I mean, we do all these different things, and
that's great.
And people
The Blues
love it.
Brothers, and we do
well,
break my back doing that part.
You got to see him do the Blues Brothers thing. He does the Dan Aykroyd thing, you know, while I'm singing the song, you know, Soul Man, and it's like
humiliating.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't look at him though, because when I look at him,
I've been told that before.
You start laughing.
I start laughing, and then but people are dying the whole time just watching him, you know.
Yeah.
And then and then the country.
The country segment.
We do this country segment. We say, like, you know, you probably don't realize this, but we're really big country fans, you know. Mm-hmm. And this, by the way, is our favorite country song, and it's the one from Hee Haw. You know that you
met another and you was gone.
You know.
Hot diggity dirt.
Then we go, come on, people, sing along. You was gone. You know.
Almost junior high school humor, almost.
Yeah,
there,
but you can't believe how many people are into doing that.
And
they're all like, oh yeah. And that's just the gals. And the guys kind of, the guys kind of, you know.
That's the most
hilarious.
sophisticated part of the show.
That's
hilarious.
Right.
But pretty much everything we do in the show has a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We do these tribute segments to either a style of music or singers that sang certain types of music, whether it goes back to the 50s or it came out last week, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you can do anything, you guys.
Yeah, and it's so much fun because, you know, basically, you know, it's the same concept that Danny used in the show. Like, we would talk about it, like, he goes, I want everything that I do up on that stage to mean something. It's got to have a reason for being in the show.
Yeah.
You know? And so we've used the same concept, is that we can't just do a song because
you like it.
We like it or somebody else liked it or something like that. There's got to be a reason for it. So we found that if we put other like songs together or other singers that sing the same type of stuff, and we put this segment together as a medley, people love that stuff.
Yeah.
By the time we get to the third person, they're like, I love that song. You know, and they're all singing along, you know, like
and all songs that are familiar to people.
Oh, definitely.
So they can sing along or whatever. Oh yeah, I love that song, but we try not to do too nondescript songs that are like, huh? No.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because that doesn't. Why?
Yeah.
Because you're doing it for them, you're not doing it for yourself.
Well, that's one thing that, I've been to a lot of concerts like you guys have too. The one thing that steams me is when you go to see an artist who's got 10 top 10 hits, and they don't do them.
And they don't do them. And that's what you want to...
Because they're sick of them.
They're sick of them.
It's like, hey, I paid my $50. I want to hear the number one hit you had.
Right. That's right.
And that's kind of you to do for the audience.
Yeah. But it's entertainment.
Entertainment value.
You've ceased to entertain people when you don't do songs that are immediately recognizable.
Yeah.
Even if you sound like Pavarotti, who cares?
Yeah,
it's like everybody's waiting for you to do that one song.
Right, yeah.
When is he going to get to that?
Yeah.
Achy breaky heart. You know what I mean? It's like
which he has to be totally sick of, but I bet you he does it.
He better do it. That butter his bread.
Oh yeah. That's very interesting what you just said about how you structure a show, because you're obviously a genius at it. There's a beginning and a middle and an end.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So what is your objective other than a standing ovation, which you're always hoping to get?
Yeah.
What is your objective as you get to the end? What do you want them to feel or know, or conclusion you want them to come to?
First and foremost is that we're doing it for them and they feel that. I have people say that, you not only did you guys, hit that out of the park, and when you sang that song, you guys, you belted it, you did it, all that kind of stuff. Is that first of all, you can really feel how much you guys enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
And second of all, you could tell that you were doing it for us.
Mm-hmm. You pull them in with you.
Yeah. You pull them in, and
so
that's the key.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny would come out, and some people might have thought it was, why does he do that? He doesn't have to do that. He's entertainer of the year, that kind of mindset. And it's like he would come running out after this little overture in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And they would say, Danny Gans, and he would shoot out and he'd get into the center of the stage and he would go, thank you for being here. That's what he said first. It drew them right to him, and they never left.
Yeah.
From that moment on.
Yeah.
And we try to, in our own way, come out there and make them feel comfortable with us.
That's a respect for the audience.
Yeah, and it's like...
you guys paid good money, and you want to be entertained.
Exactly,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. Thinking about corporate gigs, I've noticed Rich Little and others who will come up with special material just for that audience, which seems to really bring them in. Do you guys do that? Do you do a little research ahead of time?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of things do you come up with?
We went,
Make fun of the boss is always good.
We went to a 100th anniversary for Eastern Star a couple of years back.
Oh, really?
And they wanted some music from the 1918. It was 2018. So they went from the 100 years. So we came up with a whole 20 segment.
Really?
Of
A
music.
roaring
20
Yeah. When you're smiling,
they
and
went nuts.
Oh, they loved it. It was so much fun.
It really, and it was amazing.
They knew all the words.
That everybody.
Yeah.
But they were very
Must
recognizable.
have been a beautiful baby.
But they're very recognizable songs.
Funny, yeah.
And but
5'2", eyes are. I mean,
all those songs, and I didn't realize that they came out. That came out in 1921. They came out in 1922, and this kind of
top 40 hits of 1918 or 20.
I know.
There were some.
Yeah.
And everybody bought sheet music then.
Exactly.
Definitely. Yeah.
So we have a whole 20 segment if we want to go back far.
We did a whole big
What a
segment
great
of it,
idea.
And then we did a thing for a Jewish event, a birthday party, and we put a thing for Fiddler on the Roof put together. So
we did this whole thing,
And that was very popular.
Oh yeah, and then I told him the story about being born in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and pretty much you had all of the Jewish people on one side of the street and all the Italians on the other street, on the other side of the street, and you put that stuff together, and it's like, I mean. Honestly, it was the most unique thing.
Yeah.
Wonderful upbringing. And then when we moved to Connecticut, literally in one street alone, there were at least 5 Jewish families that moved there from Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
So you knew them.
Why?
The kids.
We
maybe.
didn't know him, but we knew him, if you know what I mean. It was like, oh, yeah, well, we could hang out and tell stories, you know.
Wow.
But it was wonderful, yeah.
That's great. Did you either of you guys do ships? Do the ships? Do
we haven't done yet.
Yeah. Are you thinking about that?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I've sung on ships when I've gone on cruises and stuff for some of the talent shows they would have for the guests, and I've done some of that. But yeah, I love cruises.
There's pluses and minuses to that.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you are a star.
Especially if it's like, you know.
Well, not on a rough night. Just, yeah,
the 30% rolls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, the curtains are going back and forth on the stage.
As long as it doesn't happen at breakfast, you know what I mean? Because the food is good.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your meal. And so
let me ask you a couple of questions about the mechanics of this. Do you guys use tracks for everything, or do you bring an orchestra with you?
Well, we
depends on the gig, I suppose.
Yeah, right now we're using tracks, but we can formulate with some musicians.
So you have
we've already put that together. We've already got a couple of musicians, because believe it or not, a lot of the people everywhere we go now, they're actually playing to tracks. Like they have at least 3 people on stage. Piano player, drummer, and maybe a guitar player.
And then
they're playing the tracks. Fill out the rest. And then you can, which is great, when we sit in, we just bring a flash drive with our show on it. Yeah. What do you want us to do? You know, that kind of thing. And it works out great.
Yeah, and they can jump in and start playing along with our music.
That's great.
And so,
that's great. There's some fabulous musicians in this town.
Goodness.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful.
You know, and I just hope and pray they didn't leave.
Yeah.
During COVID.
I've got a client of mine. He played for Sinatra and all of them. He's up in his late years now. Some of these great musicians been here since the 50s and 60s.
I know. And then those were great times.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they had the Heidi Harris. You know Heidi.
Oh, I know Heidi.
Yeah, she's a good Christian lady, a radio personality. Her dad was the trumpet player at the.
That's right.
I want to say the Riviera Hotel. They had their own orchestra.
Yeah.
So they played for whoever the headliner was.
Right.
Yeah.
They got hired, you know? And then here are the charts.
Yeah.
And away they go, you know. But he had been in, you know, Benny Goodman's band. He'd been in Glenn Miller's Relief Band. He'd been in, you know.
Yeah, just with all the greats.
I miss those days, you know. There's something to be said for tracks, you know, and the perfection of tracks.
But
there's something about human beings being there.
It's really,
I hope you guys get a chance to play the Smith Center. What a place!
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Yeah. And we have so many different segments of our show. We can pretty much fit anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we have
Lionel Richie stuff, and we have
we got this whole
different
Lionel Richie
a tribute to women. We got West Side Story somewhere, and different all kinds of.
I have to say the tribute to women gets them every time. I mean,
there's nothing like a dame from
nothing like that.
South Pacific, and
we set it up
love.
like this is our tribute to women in song, you know. So
half the audience loves you already.
Oh, are you kidding? They're all like, okay, this is for us, you know, kind of thing. And we do these amazing songs, you know, but it crescendos to a finish in Somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we even do Billy Joel in the middle, you know.
Right. And Nat King Cole. The More I See You.
An hour has ripped by.
Wow.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
Holy cow.
Seemed like 2. No.
Oh, yeah. Right.
But you guys need to come back. You have an open invitation.
Thank you.
We'd love to, huh?
Yeah.
Sure.
And we're gonna search around, see if we can find some tape of you guys singing.
Okay, and
we'll put that on the show.
Okay, very good.
Raphael Erardi and Ben Litvinoff, RaphaelAndBen.com. So book them. You'll be happy you did.
Book them.
Book them, Dano.
Dano,
yeah.
That's it. So thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you so much, Dale.
And God bless you all. And as I try to remember to say each and every episode of Las Vegas Tonight, when it comes to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, please walk with Him. Take care.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That's amore. When the sun seems to shine like he's had too much wine, that's amore.
That's amore. Now we got along, my life was real sunny, but only one thing would ruin our fun.
I know you love me, but you worship money, and you got mad when I offered you none.
Where, oh, where are you tonight?
Why did you leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and I thought I found true love. You met another and poof, you was gone.
Coming to you on that dusty road, good loving, I got a truckload. And when you get it, you got something. So don't you worry, 'cause I'm coming. I'm a soul man.
Soul man.
I'm a soul man.
Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
You've been watching Las Vegas Tonight with your host, Dale Davidson. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of our show. We so appreciate your loyalty to our program. To keep Las Vegas Tonight on the air, please go to our website, vegassaints.org, and click the Donate button. To send a check or money order, please make it out to Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries and mail it to 9030 West Sahara Avenue, Suite 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To suggest a guest to appear on the show or any other suggestions or questions, write to Dale at DaleWDavidson@yahoo.com or call him at 702-480-3989.
Shine, Las Vegas, shine.